What's up, guys? Today we're gonna see if we can figure out what happened to the 240. We brought this thing to the last Cletus and cars, tried to do a burnout, and at some point something let go and the whole car caught on fire. And it started to run a little weird after that whole ordeal. It's down a hole. We're not sure which cylinder it is just yet, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the turbo kit off of this thing, get those guys out of the way, and we're gonna do a compression test to see which cylinder is down a hole. And if the damage isn't too bad, we might just be able to pull one head off and pull the rod and piston out of that cylinder and replace the piston if it's melted a little bit or whatever might be wrong. We might just be able to do it with the block still in the vehicle. So that's where we're gonna start. Go ahead and pull all this stuff off and get that compression test done and go from there. All right, the turbo manifolds are pulled off the 240. Went ahead and got all of these spark plugs pulled out. These are the 3 from the driver's side bank right here. And this guy right here on the end is a little extra wet compared to the others. And this one came out of this cylinder right here. So we're thinking that is the cylinder that we lost. The other 5 spark plugs look good and are all dry, but this one is a little concerning. So we got the compression tool down in that hole right there. We're gonna start with that one and see where it's at, and then we'll double check the other ones. But our guess is that cylinder is bad, and if the compression check proves that it is bad, we'll probably just pull that head off and see how bad the damage is underneath there. But go ahead and see how weak the compression is first. Oh yeah, we got nothing on that hole. All right, yeah, let me switch. We got 0 PSI in there. That is not good. All right. Oh, yep. That one came right up to 150. That other cylinder had nothing. Didn't even move the needle. She's cooked, boys. Just to be sure, we checked the compression in the other cylinders. All of them are good to go, except for this guy right here. Had 0 compression, so that is definitely the culprit. The piston is most likely melted. We never had a solid tune-up in the 240, so we're not super surprised there. We've also had injector issues in the past, so the guess is that probably leaned out in the burnout and that one cylinder just said bye-bye. And I think when the piston let go or whatever happened there, I think all that blow-by caused, you know, a whole bunch of that oil and gas vapor to blow out of the valve covers, and that mixture of steam, you could see that white steam just pumping out of the engine, was very flammable, and then a fireball from the exhaust ignited all of that, and that's actually what caught the engine bay on fire in the 240. I think the engine actually let go, and that's what caused the fire to happen. So we're gonna go ahead and get the intake manifold pulled off of this thing, get that cylinder head pulled off, and see how bad the damage is.
Moment of truth, buddy.
Head is loose, ready to come off. Giving you guys the exclusive first-hand look here at how bad the damage is.
Hopefully not too bad.
It had 0 compression. I'm not too hopeful right now, but we shall see, boys. It did run. Oh, hold up. You guys don't get to see it yet. I still got a fuel line.
Oh, building suspense here.
Yep, 1 fuel line away, then we'll be right back. Now we are ready to come off. Maybe not. Is that just the head gasket?
Yep.
Okay.
Just give her a rippy rip.
Gonna give me a hand with this throttle cable?
Yep. All right, buddy. I mean,
How's it look?
Melted the corner of it right off. She was lean.
Oh yeah,
right up there at the top.
I mean, it's not catastrophic, but yeah, melted it. Get a light in there. You can see the top of it.
Yeah, you see right up here. There's just no piston left. You can see right to the piston ring.
Yeah, I'll turn it over so we can actually see it.
Oof.
Oh, cylinder's a little
Got the cylinder pretty good.
rip.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come out.
Yep.
The whole thing needs to come out regardless.
Big oof.
Maybe we should just LS swap it. Be done with this thing.
Right.
She was a trooper though.
Yeah, she held on for a while. That DevCon looking crazy now.
Yeah, it's all yellow. That's wild.
Probably from all the heat.
Yeah, yeah. It just went lean because that's right. That's on the side where all that hot air is coming into. So
Yep.
just not enough fuel to keep it cool. I turned the motor over a little bit so you can see the edge of that piston better. It is pretty melted right there, and unfortunately the side of the cylinder wall is pretty scored up, so if we wanted to fix this we would have to pull the whole thing out regardless. The only way this block is savable is if we punched it over and went with a bigger piston, or we would just have to find a new block and swap everything over into that and re-DevCon one and do that whole deal again. But you know, this thing's kind of a hoopty, and we just don't know what to do with it at this point. We've been talking. I think I might just pull the trigger on trying to find components to LS swap it and go from there. I really loved the J series setup, and if the cylinder wall wasn't damaged and we just had to put a piston in it, we were going to fix it one last time just so we didn't have the car sitting waiting for parts. But it looks like it's going to be sitting regardless, and a lot of our projects are on hold right now just because I've been waiting on parts to come in because everyone's taking frickin' forever. So I didn't want this one to come all the way apart for like an LS swap or something just to be waiting on parts. I'd rather have it running again. So we were just going to try to fix it this time around, but you know, we're at a point now to where it needs to be completely rebuilt again. So it might just take just as long to track down all the components and LS swap it and go from there. I just want it to be a little more practical. Just comes down to that freaking steering setup and
Yeah.
how
Doesn't steer very well at all.
it sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah. The only thing this car is somewhat half capable of right now is burnouts.
And it sounds sick.
And it sounds sick.
That's about it.
You can't drift it with the way it's set up right now. Like,
can't-
you can't road drive it.
Dude, we
because
can't even
the
take it to
steering
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Or
like,
make a Twisted Tea run.
for real.
Like, what?
Like,
Is it even worth keeping around?
right.
It's
So,
useless.
pretty much. I think we LS swap it, man. Turn it into a little drift car. A little drifty boy.
Yeah, just make it
Kinda cool.
functional, something we can hop in and
Yeah.
drive wherever. And it would still do sick burnouts. It just won't have that AK-47 tune. I mean, we could probably make that work on an LS. But I think that's the route we're going to go, boys. And
Sad
yeah,
day.
it is sad, but this was just an experiment. It worked pretty well, but end of the day, it's just not what I wanted it to be. It was a good idea and concept, but we would have to drastically rearrange the steering stuff to make it work how we want. And it's still possible. It's just like, it's just almost starting over again. So if you guys have some LSs out there and TH56s, hit me up.
TH56s?
TH.
Nope.
Oh, I'm also
T56.
looking for a TH400, but
Yeah.
T56 manual transmissions. We
Or
need
a
TH400 for something else.
Or a TR6060. T56 or TR6060.
Yeah,
Either one.
we're gonna keep her manual because we want to be able to drift it, do all that good stuff. But yeah, boys, I think it's time to make this thing a little more practical. And we do have the tube chassis Civic in Colorado that we still have to get going on, but this will be a good kind of dive into the LS world for us. I mean, at least for me. Why it's been there, done that, but you know, most of the cars on the channel are Honda powered, so it'll be good to finally start changing some things up. So yeah, I think that's the plan, boys. I'm gonna start piling up some components to LS swap the 240 and go from there. And it's just gonna sit like this and be sad until we can make that happen.
Add it to the junk pile of J series we have sitting.
Yeah,
out
we
there.
have 2 other blocks chilling out there, and now we killed another one. This motor was supposed to be the chosen one, boys.
I mean, to be honest,
It was
this
pretty
one did
bulletproof.
Really good for
Yeah, can't complain.
a good time, but
RIP in the chat
yeah.
for the J series here. F in the chat. I know I've said this a couple times already in previous videos about the 240, but please give me some input down below on what you guys think about the LS swap. I'm only saying this again because it seems like every time I talk about it, a lot of you guys, a majority of you, want to see the J series stay in the car. And I get that, it's unique, it sounds awesome. A lot of you guys are Honda guys at heart, and so am I, and I always will be. But I think the LS swap is just the better option for the car. I'm trying to persuade more of you guys to think that way as well. So I want to see comments in favor of the LS swap. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I just think overall, it will be a better setup car. We can actually make it steer again. We can set it up to drift properly, and we can just hop in it and have a good time, you know, bring it out to the Freedom Factory, get some seat time drifting, because right now the car is just not set up to do that well at all, and it's not gonna give us any more skill behind the wheel unless we have like a real setup car. So I just want to go the LS swap route. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I've been very indecisive about it, and I apologize. I loved the J Series idea and it worked great, but I think it's time, boys. We got to rip her out and put an LS in there, and it will give us a chance to kind of dip our toes in the water in the LS world as we venture into new engine platforms. But like I said, I will always be a Honda boy at heart, so don't you worry. But once again, leave some comments down below. I'm hoping you guys don't blow it up with keep the J Series in there, because I'm going to lose it, but I think the LS is just gonna have to happen, guys. That's what I'm sticking with. So I've put a lot of thought into it. I don't know why this car has been on my mind so much, but that is the way we need to go. But anyways, that's about all we got for this video, boys. Sorry it was kind of a short one. We have had a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I know the uploads have slowed down just a little bit, and I apologize for that. I'm doing my best to keep the content rolling, but we've been waiting on parts to come in here and there. Stuff I've ordered several weeks, if not months ago. We have a couple projects coming up that I think you guys are gonna be really excited about. So we will have the content back up and rolling here soon. I'm always like this, and I apologize. I'm like uploading like crazy, and then I kind of go dead for a while. I know, boys, I'm a wreck, but I'm doing my best. We've been working on the jet boat behind the scenes. We got the engine bolted in there, just little things here and there. Wyatt's been working on his race truck, and we have been trying to prep the MR2 to take it back out, because we're still waiting on something for it to come in, so it's been sitting for a little bit. But yeah, that's all we've really been doing these last few days. I figured I'd give you guys an update on the 240 for those curious on what happened to it. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you later.